Здравствуйте, уважаемые ребята, здравствуйте, уважаемые коллеги. Скажу несколько слов на русском для того, чтобы всем все было понятно, зачем мы здесь собрались и чем мы будем заниматься. Как правильно было сказано, наш дистанционный курс «Мастерская читателя» предполагает, что мы с вами будем читать много, читать будем в оригинале, читать будем адаптированные тексты. И что самое главное, мы с вами попытаемся визуализировать все то, что мы читаем. А визуализировать мы будем с вами различными способами. Будем составлять схемы, таблицы, майндмэпы, спайдограммы и разные другие сложные слова, которым мы научимся в рамках данного курса. Но, конечно же, курс не может быть успешен, если в нем не принимают участие талантливые педагоги. И мне как раз хотелось бы сегодня представить тех учителей, которые будут вести данный курс. Следующее занятие, которое будет посвящено написанию рецензий по прочитанному произведению, проведет учитель нашей гимназии, учитель английского языка Воленева Ольга Анатольевна, эксперт ГИА и учитель высшей квалификационной категории. Следующее занятие номер 3 по сопоставительному анализу литературного произведения и его экранизации будет проведено Ваисовой Верой Владимировной, учителем высшей квалификационной категории. И заключительное занятие будет по созданию буктрейлеров, будет проведено нашим молодым, но очень талантливым педагогом Головлевой Валентиной Юрьевной, которая, помимо того, что является учителем первой квалификационной категории, является руководителем некоторых международных проектов в нашей гимназии. И на 5-м занятии мы уже выслушаем вас с презентацией разработанными вами буктрейлеров. Что касается разработки буктрейлеров, то здесь сразу хочется сказать, что вы сами должны выбрать произведение, которое вам близко, которое вам нравится, произведение, то, которое написано американским или английским писателем. В рамках нашего курса сегодня мы с вами будем говорить о произведении Марка Твена «Принц и нищий». На следующем занятии вы вместе с Ольгой Анатольевной обсудите произведение «Дары волхвов», рассказ о Генри. На 3-м занятии обсудите произведение «Чарли. Шоколадная фабрика». Это сказочная повесть. И на 4-м занятии, где Валентина Юрьевна будет рассказывать, как правильно создать буктрейлер, будете обсуждать рассказ Конан Дойла «Пестрая лента». Данные произведения будут обсуждаться в рамках занятия. Но какой буктрейлер вы будете создавать, вы должны решить сами. И, наверное, сегодня после занятия вы посовещаетесь и к следующему занятию уже определитесь с этим произведением, потому что его нужно, конечно же, прочитать, ознакомиться с содержанием, возможно, на английском языке, если вы готовы читать в оригинале, возможно, на русском вы прочитаете перевод, а затем прочитаете адаптированную версию этого произведения. Здесь смотрите сами, но, конечно же, весь буктрейлер должен быть представлен на английском языке. И как создавать буктрейлер, мы с вами будем учиться. Дальше несколько слов по организации наших занятий. В прошлом году, когда мы проводили курс гида-переводчики, мы получили такую рекомендацию, чтобы баллы всех занятий, да, по результатам каждого занятия вы будете получать баллы, они будут суммироваться. И в итоге лучшие студии, лучшие группы будут отмечены специальными сертификатами за работу в рамках данного курса. Но в конце пройдет конкурс буктрейлеров, и этот конкурс буктрейлеров будет проходить в рамках литературного конкурса «Каждый пишет, как он слышит». Данный конкурс заявлен в программе «Молодые исследователи», и лучшие получат грамоты победителей Всероссийского литературного конкурса. Также следует отметить, что этот конкурс проводится под эгидой Союза писателей Санкт-Петербурга, Высшей школы экономики и Академии талантов Санкт-Петербурга. Мы также надеемся, что в ближайшее время те, кто не сделал, вышлют списки участников нам на электронный адрес. Хочется сказать, что на сайте фонда, на странице нашего сеанса размещен мой личный электронный адрес, куда нужно будет высылать все домашние задания не позднее, чем за 5 дней до начала следующего сеанса. И также я надеюсь на этот электронный адрес получить списки участников, которые в каждой студии должна быть сформирована группа, которая будет посещать все 5 занятий, и на 5-м занятии они представят буктрейлер по выбранному произведению. И произведения студии будут готовы озвучить на следующем занятии номер 2. Если есть какие-то вопросы по организации, по содержанию наших занятий, по структуре курса, также можно задавать на мой электронный адрес, я с удовольствием отвечу. Я думаю, что в конце занятия у нас не будет времени онлайн, чтобы задать вопросы, поэтому, пожалуйста, давайте держать связь по электронной почте. На этом, я думаю, что мы завершаем наш организационный этап и переходим непосредственно к уроку. Меняем язык общения, and I think now we shall start speaking English. So, in front of you, I hope that you have got pupils list. And the first task on this pupil list is devoted to the biography of Mark Twain. Also, you have got the supplementary material, the biography of Mark Twain. Let's look through these papers. Please, my student, take the blue papers. Let's look through the papers and do the task. While reading, you can use your pencils, your pens, everything you want to underline the information you need. I think that we won't give you time to look through the whole text. We will start doing it right now because the first questions are rather easy. Please, everybody, be ready to answer the questions. Start looking through it. And I think that the first question, date of birth, is quite easy. And this question will be answered by the studio of Gymnasium 11. Murat, please, what is the date of birth of Mark Twain?
Samuel Langhorne, and it's the true name of Mark Twain, was born on
So, when was he born?
He was born on November
The 30th.
30th.
And the year?
1835.
And the year is 1835. That's right. The next question is devoted to the childhood, and it is also be answered by Gymnasium 11. Please, pupils, look it through and be ready to answer. The next 2 questions about the youth and the origin of the pen name, we will ask the studio from Zhirnovsk. After Gymnasium 11 answer about childhood, Zhirnovsk, be ready to answer the next 2 questions. About the start of his literary career and family life, let us ask Livni. Livni will be responsible for the next 2 questions, start of literary career and family life. About the major book, Moscow will answer, and last year, Urupinsk. So please get ready, and the answer about childhood, Lisa, please answer.
So the family moved to Hannibal on the banks of the Mississippi River, and there Samuel Clemens spent his boyhood. When he was 12, his father died, and the boy had to earn his own living. Answering the next question, he changed several professions.
Okay, so about the youth, it is for another studio. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for the full answer. And if we pay attention to the question about the youth, jobs possessed by him, you see the arrows. So one way of visualizing the information is making a scheme. And let us try to make a scheme with these arrows, which jobs he possessed during his life. So please, the next 2 questions are for Zhirnovsk. Please. Отвечает город Жирновск.
He was born in Florida, and he was a 3rd child. At first, he was pilot, next silver mining. After it, he was territorial enterprise, and after he was a writer.
Thank you very much. And the next question about the origin of the pen name is also for you, please.
The origin of the pen name was Mark Twain.
This is his pen name, and what is the origin? What does this name mean?
Samuel Landcrown Clemens.
Okay, I am actually not very satisfied with this answer. Probably Moscow. Can you comment on that? Moscow?
We need to comment on.
So, the origin of the pen name. What is the origin of the pen name Mark Twain? What does it mean?
Clemens.
Okay, Murat, can you, Gymnasium 11?
He signed his articles, Mark Twain, some too, and used by the sailors to show and that of their river.
That's right. So this means it is the term of the sailors. That's right. That Mark Twain is a pen name, and it is the term of the sailors. Thank you very much. Let's move on to other questions. Livna, please.
Lina Mikhailova, the students of the 9th form.
His literary career began when his sketches were published in the Territorial Enterprise, a daily paper of Virginia City. Next question. According to the text, he married Olivia Langdon. He spent his happiest years in Hartford.
Thank you very much. The next question is for Moscow about major books. Just few words, please.
Important book was The Innocents Abroad. Then very important books were The Gilded Age, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, A Tramp Abroad, The Prince and the Pauper, and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. That's all.
Thank you very much. And the last question for Urupinsk, last years of the writer.
Stepanishu Елизавета. In the last years of his life, Mark Twain wrote several political articles and pamphlets. Till his dying day, Mark Twain didn't stop his literary activities and continued working on his autobiography. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. So we read quite a big text, as you see, and we spent on the task only, I think, 5 or 6, 7 minutes. So you see that a big text can be looked through, and if you need to find some information, you should underline it and to fill in the chart. Let's put aside the biography of Mark Twain and pay attention to the major books by Mark Twain. So let's try to pronounce them all together, to pronounce them correctly, because I heard that you mispronounced the titles of the books. Let's say it all together. The Innocents Abroad. All together.
The Innocents Abroad.
The Gilded Age.
The Gilded Age.
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
The Prince and the Pauper.
The Prince and the Pauper.
The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County.
The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County.
The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
A Connecticut Yankee in the Court of King Arthur.
The Connecticut Yankee in the Court of King Arthur.
Arthur. He is pronounced as King Arthur. Okay, now we should match the titles in English and find the translation of the titles in Russian. Let's ask Ufa to do this task. So you should match the title, you should read it in English and find the translation in Russian. So please, Ufa, start doing this task.
The Innocent Abroad. Простаки за границей. The Gilded Age. Позолоченный век. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Приключения Тома Сойера. The Prince and the Pauper. Принц и нищий. The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. Знаменитая скачущая лягушка из Калаверса. The Adventure of Huckleberry Finn. Приключения Геккельбери Финна. A Connecticut Yankee in the court of King Arthur. Янки из Коннектикута при дворе короля Артура.
Okay, thank you very much. That was correct. Thank you. I hope that after our video class you will try to learn how to pronounce the titles of the books correctly. And let's move on. Let's turn the page. And now we see the summaries of the books, the summaries of the main books, probably of some of the most important books. And we shall match. We won't read everything aloud, of course. You should match the title and the summary. Please start doing this task. And two students were not asked yet, Dimitrovgrad and Tver. I will ask you in some minutes. While you are doing this task, I should recollect it in your mind that you do the task which you will meet during the exam if you are going to take it after the 9th form, right? To match the title and the summary. So probably Dimitrovgrad is ready to tell us the first book. What is the first book? Dimitrovgrad, please. So while Dimitrovgrad is thinking, probably we will ask Tver. Tver, what is number one?
Number one is the celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras country. Number one is the celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras country.
What about number two? What about number two, Tver?
Number two is the adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Number three, please, for Dimitrovgrad. 3 and 4, do you know?
Text number three is a Connecticut Yankee in the court of King Arthur. Надеюсь, вы не услышали, да? Не услышали? Нет.
And what about number 4, Tver?
Number 4 is the adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Thank you very much. You are absolutely right. So again, you see that you looked through quite short texts, but with a lot of unknown lexics for a short period of time. So you should not be, you shouldn't feel very nervous if you see a lot of unknown lexics in the text, because probably you don't need these unknown words to understand the main point. Okay, we shall move on, and we start doing tasks from the block number 3. Please turn the page. The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. And let's try to find out your background information, your background knowledge. Now you see the portrait. I hope you will see it now. You see the portrait of King Henry VIII. So you should comment on some important things which happened during the rule of King Henry VIII. If you don't know what to answer, please take your mobile phones and try to search for information in the internet. So we have got 5 questions. Now let's agree that for question number 1, will Gymnasium 11 be responsible? So please, kids, be ready to answer the question, search the internet and find the answer. Question number 2 will be for, let's say, from Lyceum from Livny. Question number 3, Ufa, please. Question number 4, Moscow. And question number 5, Tver. So right now you have got some time to search the internet, to consult each other, try to remember the facts which you know, and answer these questions. Okay, I think that we shall start from the reign of Henry VIII, and Gymnasium 11 will answer. So, who is ready? No volunteers, as usual. Lisa, could you?
Yes, of course, Henry VIII is the best known for his...
Could you speak up?
Of course. Is best known for his 6 marriages, and in particular he's reported to have his first marriage annulled. His disagreement with the Pope on the question of such an annulment led Henry to initiate the English Reformation, separating the Church of England from the authority.
Okay, Lisa, thank you. Polina, do you have anything to add?
I think
Could you speak up?
he was a strong man, and some authors like Thomas More that were guilty for his thinking.
Okay, Murad, do you have anything to add?
I think he, instead of he,
Could you speak up?
I'm speaking about his son and daughters. He had a son, son Edward, from his marriage with Jane Seymour, and he had a daughter from his daughter Elizabeth from his marriage with Anne Boleyn, and he had another daughter, Mary, from his marriage with Katerina.
That's right. Okay, thank you very much. And of course, you see that Murad starting answering question number 2, commenting on the Tudor family tree. And one more way to visualize information is to draw a family tree or to write a tree of some events, right? And let's move on to question number 2. Please, Livne, can you comment on the Tudor family tree?
Ksenia Zakharov.
The Tudors were a Welsh English family that ruled England from 1485 to 1603. So according to the Tudor family tree, we can see that Henry VIII was son of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. Henry VIII had 6 wives and just 3 children. One of them was Edward, and who was the main character of the novel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's move on to question number 3. Please, Ufa.
He was born in 1537 and died on the 6th of June 1553. He was 16 years old. He died from tuberculosis.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The next question for Moscow, please.
Well, as we know, Queen Mary, Lady Mary and Lady Elizabeth were stepsisters. Lady Mary was daughter of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon. And Lady Mary was the reason why Henry divorced with Catherine of Aragon. And Lady Elizabeth was daughter of Anne Boleyn. And she was the reason why Anne had the head cut off. And Lady Mary was Queen of Scotland and France. And she had husband Philip II, King of Spain. When Mary became the queen, well, there was lots of blood in England. Lots of blood, and so that's why we call her Blood Mary. And but finally, Elizabeth became the queen of England, and she is known as Queen Virgin. She ruled for 44 years, and that's quite a long period of time. And during her ruling, England became the Queen of Seas. That's all what we can say.
Thank you very much, such full information. Okay, and the last question, number 5. We will ask Tver to comment on the sites of London. I hope that you see that this is the Tower, London Bridge and Westminster, and probably Tver knows what is Offal Court and Handel Court. So please, Tver, the floor to you.
We want to tell you about Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey is a symbol of London. The coronation of all British queens and kings takes place here. Westminster Abbey was founded by St. Peter. Now the Queen doesn't live here because she stays in Buckingham Palace. And a lot of famous British people are buried in Westminster Abbey.
Thank you very much. I hope that you know about the London Bridge and the Tower, but we won't pay time to that because we're short of time today. So let's move on, and now we're going to work with another supplementary material. In my studio it is a yellow paper. Please take a summary of the plot of Mark Twain. Before we start reading, let's practice some words to pronounce them correctly. You know that during the exam, at the end of the 9th class, you should read aloud, and the pronunciation is evaluated by the examiners. Okay, repeat after me. Fascinated.
Fascinated.
All together. Inequality.
Inequality.
Punitive.
Punitive.
Pilloryed.
Pilloryed.
Judicial system.
Judicial system.
To vow.
To vow.
King's ward.
King's ward.
Okay, and now we shall explain the meaning of the words and phrases. Please, Gymnasium 11, be ready. And after that, I want you to complete the spidergram with the synonyms, and let it be the task for Urupinsk. Please, Urupinsk, in some minutes, while the pupils from Gymnasium 11 explaining the words, you will give us a synonym. Synonyms for the word mad, and I also want to pay your attention that one of the ways to visualize information is to draw a spidergram. The core of the spidergram is some important word, and around it, like the sun, you make the synonym. So this is the spidergram. Okay, Lera, please, the first three expressions. Read and explain. What does it mean loitering around the palace gates? How do you understand it? So, who can help? Lisa, as usual?
Okay, it's to get around the palace gates.
Okay, uncanny resemblance. Who can answer that? Somebody except of Lisa? You? No? Okay, Lisa, help.
I would like to use an idiom as like as two peas in a pot.
That's right. Very alike, right? Very alike. Snatching up. Snatching up. What does it mean to snatch up? So you can use the vocabularies, the dictionaries, use the internet. So snatch up, no answer. Let us ask who knows. Murad, please, consult internet. Consult internet about snatch up. Great seal. Who can comment on great seal? You can. Okay, you are responsible for snatching up. Great seal.
Great seal, just print, king print, or stamp.
Okay, a kind of a stamp. That's right. Claim to royalty. Claim to royalty.
Any claim to king power.
King power. That's right. Mock coronation.
False coronation.
False coronation. To assume.
Synonym of suggest.
To suggest. That's right. Okay. What does it mean? Snatching up. To catch. Do you agree, Lisa?
Grasp something eagerly.
Okay, grasp something eagerly. Okay, that's right. So now we know some words, and let's try to know some synonyms to the word mad. So it was Uryupins who was responsible for this task. Please, Uryupins.
There are a lot of synonyms of the word mad. For example, crazy, insane, demented, wild, rabid, furious, frantic, and lunatic. So.
Thank you very much. That was good job. Now let's turn the page, and now we see another task. Fill in the verbs in necessary form. I hope that you also recognize the format of the exam. Please look through the text and fill in the verbs in the right form. Please start doing that. Let's agree that first three words will be done by Zhirnovsk. First three words, Zhirnovsk. The next four words will be done by Dimitrovgrad. So please look it through and let's give floor to Zhirnovsk. Please, Zhirnovsk.
The Prince and the Pauper was written in the 19th century by Samuel Clemens under the pen name of Mark Twain. Tells the story of two boys in the 16th century England who were born in the same day as Luke identical but are unrelated. One named Edward Tudor is a prince and the other named Tom Canty is a pauper. Edward Tudor was a real person in history, but Tom was intended by Twain.
Was invented, actually, right? Okay, so that was correct, but unfortunately you mispronounced two words like identical and the other, right? So please pay attention to the reading aloud because it's quite an important skill. Okay, and let's give floor to Dimitrovgrad, please. Continue.
Through unusual circumstances, Edward and Tom meet and exchange clothing, which led to everyone confusing the identities of the two boys. Edward makes the mistake of leaving the palace while wearing the rags of Tom. A guard, thinking Edward is a pauper, throws him off the palace grounds, and a period of humiliation and danger starts for Edward. Meanwhile, the people at court see Tom dressed in Edward's finery and convinces that he is the prince. Tom tries to tell them that he is not Edward, but the courtiers think he went temporarily mad. Even his father, King Henry VIII, think this is the case.
Okay, thank you. Actually, there were some mistakes, and let's ask the studio from Moscow to read the second part and try to fill in their variants. So, Moscow, please.
Edward makes the mistake of leaving the place while wearing the rags of Tom. A guard, thinking Edward is pauper, throws him off the palace grounds, and a period of humiliation and danger starts for Edward. Meanwhile, the people at court see Tom dressed in Edward's finery and convinced that he is the prince. Tom tries to tell them that he is not Edward, but the courtiers think he went temporarily mad. Even his father, King Henry VIII, thinks this is the case.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that after the video class you will discuss all the variants, you will discuss all the forms which you have just filled in and agree on that or this variant. Okay, now let's move on, and the next two tasks are connected with the reading the summary of Prince and the Pauper. So the first task is read the summary and match the names with the main characters. Let's ask the school from Ufa to do this. So please look through the descriptions of the characters and match the descriptions with the names. And the next task is true, false, not stated. If you turn page, you will see that. So true, false, not stated. Let's agree that the first three will be done by Gymnasium 11. Number 4, 5, and 6 will be done by Livne. 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be done by Uryupinsk. So please look through the text, the plot of the Prince and the Pauper. Probably it will be easy for you to do it just scanning the text, because each of you read the novel at home. And we will start checking the description with the children from Ufa. So please, Ufa, please command that description number 1 is that character, description number 2 is that character, and so on and so forth. So please, Ufa.
The first text describes John Canty. According to the phrases, he was a scruffy-looking, overweight man of average height, wearing a beard and mustache.
Mm-hmm.
The second text describes Miles Hendon. According to the phrases, he fought in the Continental Wars and spent 7 years in a foreign prison.
Mm-hmm.
The third text describes Tom Canty.
Mm-hmm.
And the last text describes Prince Edward.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for good job. And now let's check true, false, not stated sentences. So Gymnasium 11, number 1. So who can answer? Murad, please.
And the story happened in the middle of the 16th century. It's true.
It's true, that's right. If we had time, so I would ask you to prove by the words from the text, and I hope that they are underlined, but we are short of time, and so we move on. Number 2, please. Mm-hmm.
Tom Canty was the only child in the family. It's false because he had sisters.
That's right. Number 3, Polina, please.
The Canty family lived in Hampton Court. It's false.
Lived?
in October.
That's right. Okay, the next three questions for Livni, please.
Бахтина Ольга.
False. Tom was illiterate. It's false. Yes, Tom and Prince Edward look alike. It's true. Edward was happy to meet his new family. It's false.
Thank you very much. That was correct. And please, we will ask Urupins to finish up with the task. Urupins.
Miles Hendon believes Edward to be of the royal origin and becomes his protector. That's not true. Also, Miles doesn't believe Edward's claims to royalty. He rumors him and becomes his protector.
But he became.
Tom was crowned after the death of Henry VIII. That's not true, as Edward was crowned after his death. The Great Seal helps Edward to prove his origin. That's true, because Edward recalled where it was hidden. The king promises to take care of Tom's family. That's true. King Edward promised that. That's all.
Actually, it was not stated in the text, the last one. Probably from the whole of the book you understood that, but in the summary which was distributed among you, it was not mentioned. Actually, please be careful with such statements, true, false, not stated, especially not stated. Okay, now we shall continue working, and we are going to watch a 1 minute piece from the film. It will be without sound, just the picture, and I hope that will be seen for everybody. And you should describe what is happening on the video. After watching, we will ask Moscow to comment on that. If it is impossible for Moscow to understand from our studio, then Gymnasium 11 will comment on what is going on in the film. Okay, this is the film Prince and the Pauper, without sound. Okay, what are the boys doing? Moscow, please. Can you comment?
Yes, of course. In this small video, we have seen that boys have met and they decided that they want to change their clothes, and then the prince became the poor person, and the prince and the poor person became a prince. They were standing next to the mirror, and they've seen that they are the same.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, and now we start doing one of the most difficult tasks. We start reading the original text. Of course, I understand that during the 6 minutes left, we will not cope with this task. That's why we will distribute the pieces. For the first piece, will Zhirnovsk be responsible? For the second question, please, Livne. Question number 3, St. Petersburg, Gymnasium 11. Question number 4, Dimitrovgrad. Question number 5, Tверь. Question number 6, Livne. So please look through the original text. I told you that it is very difficult to read the books in the original. There are a lot of unknown words, but if you take a pen or a pencil and underline the words which can help you to answer the question or the questions, you will understand that it is not a very complicated task. Okay, let's start. Zhirnovsk, please. I hope that you managed to look through it and probably can say what was the atmosphere like in Westminster Abbey on the coronation day. Zhirnovsk, please. Okay, while Zhirnovsk is thinking, let's try to answer question number 2. Who came to the coronation? Livne, please.
Ксения Захарова.
Who came to the coronation? The aristocracy gathered for the coronation. There were all ages here, brown, wrinkled, white-haired dowagers who are able to go back and still back down the stream of the time and recall the crowning of Richard III and the troublous days of the all-forgotten age. And there were handsome middle-aged dames and lovely and gracious young matrons. And gentle and beautiful young girls with beaming eyes and fresh complexions who may possibly put on the jeweled coronets awkwardly when the great times comes. For the matter will be new to them, and the...
Thank you for it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Let's ask Zhirnovsk for question number 1. Are you ready, Zhirnovsk?
The atmosphere in the coronation day was exciting and magic. It was a lot of people who wanted to see the new king.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, St. Petersburg, question number 3. Who will answer? Murat, okay.
The Archbishop of Canterbury lifted up the crown of England from its cushion and held it out over the trembling king's head.
Okay, but actually who came to the coronation? Who interrupted it? Lisa.
The coronation was interrupted by Prince Edward himself. He was dressed as a poor boy.
As a poor boy, that's right. Okay, thank you. The next question for Dimitrovgrad, please.
The Duke asked him many questions about the court, the late king, the prince, the princess.
Okay, thank you. Please think more properly on this question. And question number 5, Tверь. What proved the boy's identity?
The Great Seal proved the boy's identity. The first where lived the Great Seal, and for me this truly, and the riddle is unriddled.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was correct. Question number 6 for Livne. How did Tom use the Great Seal?
Селина Полина.
How did Tom use the Great Seal? He cracked nuts with Great Seal.
That was absolutely right, that he cracked nuts. Okay. The next block is discussing, but as you see, we are short of time. And I hope that you will discuss all the questions with your partners after we stop our video class. And now I would like to comment on the home task. So after the class, I will send a supplementary material I will send a test to you, a test on the contents. The test will be sent today in the evening or tomorrow in the morning. And you should send this test to me by the 25th of January. And there are some more tasks, task 2, task 3, and task 4. You see here some topics, and I suggest you to visualize the text either by making a mind map, a collage, or a tag cloud. Beneath, you see 3 pictures. Picture number 1, storybook, you see in the center. What is that? Is it a tag cloud, collage, or mind map? Полина Шахманова. What is it?
It's a tag cloud.
It's a tag cloud, that's right. And you see that in the tag cloud, there is a very important notion, a very important word in the center, in the capital letters, and different associations written in words. Of course, you can make a form of this cloud, not a cloud, but probably like an author or some other picture. You can choose the form. Try to be creative. If you choose to make a collage, by the way, where is the collage here?
Right.
The third one, that's right. You see that there are a lot of different pictures. Probably you also can use different notes, but the notes are not very big, right? So it is mostly the visual aids, different pictures, photos, drawings, and so on and so forth. And if you choose to make a mind map, you see it in the middle. You see quite a complicated structure. It is also in like a core, some very important notion, and different arrows, different ways, so your associations and so on and so forth. If to analyze all 3 things, you see that tag cloud, it is just linguistic one, right? The words and only the words, and probably some creative shape. If you choose a mind map, it is both words, phrases, and some creative drawings, images. And if you choose a collage, so it is just the pictures with probably some words, some phrases. So all of you do a test, which will be sent today in the evening or tomorrow in the morning, and you choose what you shall do. Mind map, collage, or tag cloud. From each school can be sent 3 things. 1 mind map, 1 collage, and 1 tag cloud by the 25th of January. The mail address you can find on the FOBR site. Thank you for your job. Thank you for the teachers who prepared so many papers, printed them, and thank you for the students who took active part. Thank you. We shall finish now.